The following production is part of the Play Some Video Games podcast network.
Hey everybody, Kevin here. Before we start this evening's amazing show we have in store for you, we of course have to take a quick moment to thank all of our amazing executive producers who help make all of this possible and whose generosity helped make us better, as well as our brothers and sister podcasts here at the Make Us Better community. So we want to thank our platinum executive producers, Mr. Corey Hicks. You can watch his streams at twitch.tv/chicks_18. Mr. Mark Moody's movie reviews at youtube.com/outoflives. Our gold executive producers, Mr. Sheldon Benedict, Tony Baker, and Panache Malloy. And of course, our amazing executive producers, Stephen Iafredi, Joey Splatz, Carol Underwood, Dante Bellini Jr., Jared Gauthier, Dude427, Kevin Austin, Josh Barboni, Tammy Ryan, Robert Miller, Tim Alf, Joel Brooks, Martini Jean, Nasty Boots, David Ray, and Jesse Armstrong. Thank you all for supporting us and helping make us better. As we know, Sean recently got his green screen. He's been having a ton of fun over there with that. We got Seth a new microphone and a couple new surprises we haven't shown you yet from the PSVG crew that you will see soon enough. But thank you all again for your generosity. It means so much to us. And hey, if you're interested in helping the cause, visit patreon.com/makeusbetter. Hit that music.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of PSVG, the official podcast of Play Some Video Games and the PSVG Podcast Network. Thank you to all of our amazing producers over at Make Us Better, patreon.com/makeusbetter, for making this happen and continuing to make us, well, better. It is I, your host, Kevin. With me this week, we got a full house here, gentlemen. Very full house. And who could fill it up better than Coach Mo?
Hey, buddy.
How we doing?
I'm really good. I'm glad I sent in a sweet question that got me on the show.
It did. Coach's question of the week was, hey, can I come? And I said, I don't know, can you? And then I gave him the time, and he's here. So that's the answer to that question. So that's it for the mailbag this week, everybody. Thank you for joining. Also with us.
Message for you, sir.
Yeah, I won't get to use that this week. Darn. So we also have Dad Ninja Dev.
What up? It's like an OT, but not.
I know it's like OT all over again, but not. I had both you guys on like a couple weeks ago too, and then I did OT without. This is a lot of you guys lately. I'm okay with that.
I'm seeing a lot of Kevin, and I'm good with it.
I know it's true, but somebody we do not get to see very often, and I'm not good with, but he's here tonight. The Emperor himself has graced us with his present.
Good evening, fellow gamers.
And he's not feeling well, so his voice goes even better when he does it. Like it works even better.
I got a little bit of a cough, so I'll try to mute myself judiciously tonight. But it is good to chat with you guys. It's been a little while. Yeah, so what's going on? Video games are a thing?
They still are a thing, in fact.
Okay,
and
cool,
we should play some.
Yes, you should. So I'm hoping that they are still a thing because I'm actually writing an article for an essay rather, for my English class about video games. So I'm glad they're still a thing. Yeah,
that'd be awkward. You just turn that in. You're just like, I don't know what you're talking. What is this?
Like this is from 8 years ago. Like, oh man, I've been under a rock.
It's like asking Coach about a Nintendo thing. He's just like, I don't know what you're referring to.
Hey, I played 3 Nintendo games this week. Ha.
But how long did you play them for?
10 minutes, an hour, and 5 minutes.
Wow. We'll get to that when we get to what you've been playing, I think. So,
hey, I got some classics on the shelf over there. I don't know if you can see them back there.
Oh, yeah.
Those are excellent.
I don't see any.
Wow.
He's blinded to them.
It's just blur. It's like blacked out. Like when you see those Dateline things where they're like, I don't know, I was in an alley and then the man came and stabbed me. Like, and they're hiding the witness. Like, that's how Coach sees anything Nintendo related, just blacked out, blurred, and voice changed. It's crazy. But yeah, thank you everybody for tuning in and listening. Remember, this is the only gaming podcast that's bigger than San Diego Comic-Con. Just want to let you know. If you weren't aware, it's true. It's a
fake news.
No, it's true. It's true.
That's not what I meant to say.
He wouldn't know. He's there, so.
That's true.
Because he's Justin Werner.
Apparently, I'm at San Diego Comic-Con right now while podcasting live from San Diego Comic-Con. Yes.
On a set that looks like his room.
My
Justin Warner stunt double.
Well, see,
Kevin, that sign.
Kevin, I gotta ask.
Yes.
Can you dunk on that that basketball hoop behind you?
Oh, I do all day, man. That's my cardio.
Nice.
Arm day, I just dunk. But see, I like Dev that you now say I'm Justin Warner stunt double because that in itself you acknowledge we're not the same person. So
I'm trying to be nice.
Except he didn't say that Justin Werner does his own stunts.
Ooh.
Science.
Touche. Fair enough. So, believe it or not, this is a game. This is a game. This is a podcast about games, so we should probably talk about some games. So let's talk a little bit about what we've been playing.
Hold on a second. What if we created a game about podcasts?
Oh my goodness.
We should totally do that.
Might be onto something.
I think this is the next mobile sensation.
And if you don't have followers, you don't make any money, and your podcaster just sits there alone inside.
And then you join a Patreon.
we do know people at Adult Swim Games. We might be able to make that. That seems like a game that they would do. It would either be them or Devolver Digital. Let's be honest. It'd be one of those two that make that game. So we can
Absolutely.
All right, make some
As
calls.
I'm very professional, I would totally do the voiceover for almost 3 minutes. And then I would quit.
Until he realizes it's going to be on the Switch. Then he'll like, oh, never mind.
Oh, yeah, I'm fine. You guys.
I'm
go
not
ahead.
even going to do the 3 minutes. You guys just go. I'll give you 3 seconds.
Normally,
Just
I'd say,
him saying
Switch?
nope. Anyway, so let's talk about what we've been playing in reality. So Nathan, you've been gone the longest, I think. So why don't you catch us up with what you've been playing? If you've been playing anything, I know you've been busy with school and stuff, but hopefully you've been making some time.
So the gaming time has been like nil almost. However, I have had a little bit of time, and the time that I have had, I've checked out for some reason. I don't know why this all of a sudden we started playing GTA 5 again online. And I like some of the guys online are, Mo and Dan and Brian and Josh were all playing it. And I was like, I'll boot it up again. I haven't played it in forever. And I've been having fun with that. Like that's the only game I've actually been playing in the last month, I think, when I have a moment to go down to the old basement and play. But it's been fun because I haven't had a game that has let me play with my buddies for a little while, and this is the first game that's let me do that. I haven't yet gotten a full 4-man crew yet. No. But I was playing with a 3-man crew with Dan and Josh, and it was a lot of fun just getting together and running some missions and just, doing whatever we wanted to, flying around. Once we get a 4th man, we can do some heists, coach, and we can actually get things taken care of. It'll be fun.
You should try this other game that's free that lots of people play, and you can do 4-man crews too. It's called Fortnite.
It's called a lie. And
I call it Wanna PUBG.
Yet you play it with me all the time.
I love both games. They're fun.
Yes,
I like battle
they're
royale.
both fun. Yeah, they are. So, all right, I guess I'll go next here. So, I did wrap up finally Detroit Become Human. I know, Coach, you said you played it, or at least some of it, and it wasn't your thing.
I got 2 hours in, and again, it was just I think with the moving that it was so slow paced and wasn't like what I needed.
Mm-hmm.
I jumped right out of it.
I will tell you, and I'm gonna remain. Dev, you didn't play it yet, right?
Mm-mm.
Okay, I didn't think so. So I'm gonna remain spoiler free, as I've kind of talked about this all along. Story wise, this might be the best like narrative game I've played, like walking simulator, if you will. The story is at parts completely gut wrenching, and there are choices in these games, of course, as they all do. But sometimes I've had a telltale one where I'm like, man, I really don't know what to pick, and eventually I pick something. This game takes that and jacks it up to like 100. Like there are so many decisions that I'm like, I don't even know what to pick. I don't want to pick any of these choices, or I want to pick these 2 choices, but you can't only pick one. It is so well done, and the character models for the people are absolutely stunning. Like I've never seen character models of people look better than this game.
I really want to play that game. It looks really
It
good.
is so good. And I mean, this is a game that I've been excited about, but not like super, oh my God, I have to buy this day one. But luckily, Seth came to me and said like, hey, you want to split it and I'll play it and I'll mail it to you. And then, you can just keep it after that point. I'm like, yeah, all right, let's do it. Because in my mind, I'm like, okay, that's much more reasonable for me to drop 30 on it. But I encourage anybody that has a PlayStation, like these are one of those games that, like, much like Until Dawn, like I think that's a must-play game if you have a PlayStation. It's very well done. This is way better than that, but this is a game that everybody should at least play through. So, Coach, I say when you are in a better state of mind for that type of game, go back. 2 hours is probably where about it started getting its hooks into me, but the story is just, it's so good, so well done.
Kevin, so my semester ends next week. If you want to mail it to someone else, just saying.
Well, speaking of mail, this came in the mail. Message for you, sure. So Donnie had his copy mailed to Nathan, who then mailed it to me with a note on it saying, Kev, I hope you find more time to play it than I did. Smiley face, XOXO, which is kind of weird. I don't know why you did that. Nathan.
So you're going to draw a little bit more on the back of the Post-it note, but, I just didn't have time.
So did you even install it?
It did. It was installed, and it was inside the PlayStation 4 Pro, which I still don't know why I got that yet. And you know what else I want to buy is the SCUF controller, just because of the controller placement for the analog sticks is correct.
Whoa.
Correct, Dev.
This is nonsense. Your thumbs are the same length. One is not horizontal. This is shenanigans.
This is just not natural, dude. Not natural.
How is it not natural?
It's symmetrical. That is natural.
You guys are freaks of nature.
Symmetry is a mystery, good sir.
Well, science says that what people consider to be the most attractive people have symmetrical features.
Like the
most attractive gaming console.
34, 24, 35 are not symmetrical, sir.
Those aren't the same body part. It's like your eye placement is the same place.
My wife is fine, though. Can we talk about that for a minute? My wife's a good-looking lady.
I've met her.
Is she watching right now? Is that why you're saying that?
No, she's asleep, man. We stayed up too late watching
we did
TV and playing games last night.
But so God of War is next. It is installed. I did all the updates. If I can manage to stay awake a little bit after this, while I edit another show, I'm gonna give this a going run. So I have not played it yet. And then the Far Cry 5 expansions came out. I'm still on the last mission for the Vietnam one, but the Mars one came out, and I cannot wait to jump into that because love me some crazy Far Cry action. But
speaking of mail, by the way, hey Dev, I still haven't played the game that I mailed you.
Oh my god! And you're asking him to send you Detroit? You're not gonna play it.
Dude, Detroit actually speaks to me more than Far Cry, though, because I love the decision-making stuff, like the Telltale stuff. That's awesome. Yeah. And so Detroit just seems like it's like the AAA version of that.
It really is.
PS4 Pro.
It will look great. I know.
It will, and it's great. And I had no technical glitches.
Donnie will, though.
Right. Donnie will find all the problems.
That's true. Yeah, he will. But it's so good. So, and there are so many, and so like, with Telltale games, we know like you make a decision and it brings you to an end. And yes, there are different endings, but ultimately most are not so radically different. This game shows you the tree. Doesn't tell you necessarily what all the choices are. It shows you all the choices you made and how many other choices there are. These scenes are massive with multiple ways to end each scene, let alone the whole game. So I know like some other people have played it and I've talked to them, not in non-spoiler context, not in our Discord, but not direct, through direct message, so I'm not spoiling it for anybody else. And we've had totally different gameplay experiences, like totally different. Like it was like we're not even playing the same game. So it almost makes me want to go back and play more. And it does allow you to go back and replay certain chapters, so you can fill in the choices you did not make without starting the whole game over, which is a nice touch, I think, too. But yeah, Nate, I'll send it your way. I got no problem with it. 'Cause I have so many other things. I'm not going to go back and replay it right now. I will eventually, but yeah, I'll send it to you. No worries. That's it for me. So. Dev, why don't you go next?
So
Destiny.
Let's just be real. Destiny, because we just got a bunch of updates. We got a brand new.
Is that still a game?
You know what, Nathan? Don't make me come to the screen. All right. You will not bad talk my Destiny. You can talk about the offset sticks all you want, but you will not bad talk Destiny. Right?
By the way, shout out to the chat, Sean Capri, offset and inverted. That is life.
Okay, well then I'm gonna shout out, Chaffee and Jace, who were like, this offset is garbage. So either way, yeah, I've been playing Destiny. We got a bunch of new stuff, getting ready to gear up for Forsaken. So I've been deep into that. We actually completed 2 raids in one night, Monday. So I've been trying to catch up on my sleep from that. But yeah, we've been going real hard with the Destiny. So that's pretty much all I've been playing. I want to play some Far Cry this week, but other than that, just been Destiny real hard.
Fair enough. So, Coach, what 3 Nintendo games did you play for a total of an hour and 15 minutes?
Hour and 15 minutes. Okay. This was all sparked from listening to Caro on OT. And I was like, you know what? I should give 2 of these games a chance. So I bought Octopath Traveler. 10 minutes, took it out of the Switch, drove over to GameStop and traded in. That game, in my heart, hot garbage. Like, again, it is not my style of game, and we know that. But oh goodness, that was a bad decision.
You see, I'm almost buttoned into the hype on that game though, because like people around me are buying it and say it's so good, and I kind of want to try it.
I just don't think that's my style, and that's what Kevin was saying. Like, no, this is a horrible choice. You should never have bought this game.
Yep. That's that right away.
What is the style?
Small.
It's
It's a classic like SNES JRPG.
Yeah,
and then Final Fantasy 3 or something like that.
Exactly, and that's not something Coach should ever or would ever play.
So I used the trade credit because I got 70% trade credit towards anything pre-owned because of a deal at GameStop. So I actually ended up making like $50 off the game. So it was like a $10, actually less than that. I bought it at Best Buy, so $47.99. So I made $3. Cool. I got the one that she keeps talking about that she spent 300 hours in.
Yeah, Xeno.
Xeno
I
Gear.
put 5 minutes into that.
It's Xenoblade. Yeah.
The rock guy is kind of intriguing. I like him. The boat dude. I like him. I like that. But it didn't get me enough to like dive in more. And then I picked up Captain Toad.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Captain Toad Treasure Tracker.
Lace loved that on the Wii U. It was on the Wii U, right?
Yep, it was on Wii U.
Okay.
Yep.
I wasn't sure it was a different one. I played an hour of that because I was done with Brooklyn Nine-Nine. I'd watched all the seasons and there was nothing else to watch, and I was bored. And fun little game.
Yeah.
Not great, but not bad. But the game that I've spent the most time playing, I'd almost probably want to say 10 hours this week, Vigor for the Xbox One. Now, this game is in early alpha, so you have to get invited. It's not a battle royale per se. It's you scrounge around like you do in PUBG looking for stuff, weapons, attachments, healing. But there's only 8 people in this map.
Oh.
And they're jumping in and out. So they can either help you loot stuff like supply crates, or they can kill you and take all your things.
Oh.
If you die in the game, you lose everything. So you want to get in, search, get out. And they have like 6 different spots in the map where you just run. And once you get in there, it says leaving match in 10, 9. They can still shoot you in that area, so you have to be real cautious. So my first match, I jump in, I don't see anybody, I fill up, I get everything I can, I leave. The next match, me and another guy run into each other. I have a handgun with 5 bullets. So I'm aiming at him like, yeah, I could totally shoot you, knowing I have 5 shots. So if I miss, this is not ending well for anybody. He like literally like shows that he doesn't have a weapon, and we start searching for stuff together. We both load up, leave amicably, not a big deal. The next match I join, 2 guys try to kill me. Now, luckily, in that second match, I found an assault rifle. I laid waste to these dudes, picked up their stuff, running, and I'm trying to hide like to leave in the evac, and people are shooting at me. And I'm like, oh crap, they're back. It was really fun game. I probably knocked out 15 matches so far. So if you're in the Xbox One X, what's the one we're in, Nate? The super early one?
Well, you're in the skip ahead.
Yeah.
Alpha skip ahead is what you're in. Alpha, I think, also qualifies for it.
Okay. If you're in there, they'll give you access to it and you can jump in and play. I've been playing almost nonstop and I'm loving it. Really, really fun game.
Yeah, I'm reading up now. So it's made by Bohemia Games, who developed Arma and DayZ. They kicked off the beta, or the alpha right now, technically. Game slated to come out in February 2019, at least as of right now. But yeah, each engagement in Vigor features 8 to 16 players, and they must compete to find loot around the map and kill other players. Despite some similarities to Battle Royale games, they stress that Vigor is a different kind of experience. The game features a no-kill feed and a minimal heads-up display, and matches are capped at 20 minutes. They can end sooner if all players are killed or everyone manages to escape the map. Pretty cool.
Yeah. No, it's pretty great, and there's some base building in it. I haven't gotten very far into that, but I'm really enjoying it. So I'm totally down for playing more of that game.
Yeah, they have not announced pricing yet, but they said that the Founders Pack will grant access to the game along with a variety of exclusive rewards, slated to launch Xbox One February 2019. Oh no, wait, and it says it will be free to play. Okay, so the Founders Pack, they haven't announced the prices for, but it will be a free to play game as well. So continuing that model,
I would be buying the Founders Pack just to give them money, because this has made this very, like I told you guys, I'm only coaching in the mornings, so I have all this free time, and this has really helped give me something to do.
Cool.
So with this game, is it, if I installed it with the alpha build, are we able to like join up really easily? Do you know how that works? Like, is it super alpha where it's hard for us to join, or just random?
So far, nobody that's on my friends list has installed it, because it does give you that option to pull up and see if people are into play. But I didn't see anybody on ours, and so I think if you install it, it should just pop that up, and then we can go together.
I'll give it a shot.
The character creation is really basic. Normally, I have like a certain type of character I try to play as. I like to play as a girl, and on this one, it only had 5 male options, but they were all pretty distinctly different. So that I kind of like that. But then this is very early alpha.
So this company, right? This game is called Vigor. If the first DLC pack isn't Vim, they've missed an opportunity.
Vim and Vigor? I don't get it.
Vigor and Vim? You don't know that term?
No.
Okay, never mind.
Once again, it's like asking Coach something about Nintendo. Not familiar. Never heard of it. So
I played 3 Nintendo games. We already covered that. I'm basically a Nintendo expert.
That's true. I should have had you in the shack this week, as we invaded anyway too. Last week. No,
he's played more Nintendo than me.
Yep,
it's true. And Dev.
Oh yeah,
nailing it.
Dev, did you get that Switch yet? By the way,
hey, man, come on.
I actually started a new bet where Dev has to watch all the DC movies, and if he answers my questions, if they suck or not, he doesn't have to get a Switch. And he said they sucked.
They'll suck. That's easy. He doesn't even have to watch them.
I'd rather buy the Switch than have to watch those movies.
I actually liked the Justice League movie. I thought that was really funny. It's my favorite version of the Flash. He's so quirky.
Oh, what?
He's hilarious.
All right. Unfortunately, Coach Mo has been muted for the rest of the show. Guys, sorry, I don't know what happened there.
Again?
Lost him. I don't hear anything. So we do not have any questions this week, partially because I asked really, really late. And the only question we did get was Coach asking me if he can come on, which I said yes, and now I immediately regret based on his last statement. So we're going to jump right into the news of the week.
This week in Play Some Video Game News.
And much against my better judgment, the first news story I picked specifically for Coach Mo, featured on the Madden cover, announced Steelers receiver Antonio Brown.
That's on the standard edition. On the GOAT edition, we'll have Mr. I'm not going to the Hall of Fame game because I'm lame, Terrell Owens.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
T.O.
See, if he was doing something political about this, I would be totally fine with it. But it seems like it's an ego thing.
Yeah, it's just T.O. shenanigans. That's all it is. It's just his shenanigans.
It's how he is. It's how he is,
Yep.
More time to watch Brian Urlacher be amazing.
Sure. But Antonio Brown, I like that pick. I like him. So
no, really good player. Third best receiver in the league.
He's part of the 99 club. I'm good with it.
That's true. And ironically enough, I'm just relieved it's not somebody on the Patriots on the cover anymore. Go figure.
Oh no, the Madden curse.
Right. There's just been so many. But anyway. All right, let's get on to the actual news I want to talk about. So first one that came up, and this was there is an update to it. So last week, Microsoft announced that at Gamescom they were bringing new Xbox hardware, and the internet freaking blew up and was like, "Oh my god!" Some people were like, "Yes, give it to me," and some people were like, "This better not be a new Xbox at all."
Oh, I was like, "Give me a new Xbox, please, baby!"
Right. So I mean, people were clearly torn, and like this story really, really blew up, and it took Major Nelson like an entire day to come out and specify. Oh, wait, guys, it's not a new console. No, it's accessories and bundles. So I think with the people who thought, it was going to be console, I never really thought it was going to be a console, but I think it was going to be like the new Elite controller, which I still think is probably a big possibility there.
Thinking too, yeah.
Right. And then the bundles aren't a surprise. I mean, we all know bundles are coming out. It's holiday season.
Could you say that one thing one more time?
The Elite controller?
Ah, yes. It's good sauce.
Wait, was somebody just talking? I couldn't hear you.
Oh, man.
So yeah, we don't have to wait long to find out exactly what it is. Gamescom does begin August 21st, so we're about a month away. Microsoft's keynote is scheduled for 10:30 Eastern time on that August 21st, so we'll know exactly what's unveiled there. We'll see holiday bundles. That's a no-brainer, of course, because it's about that time that they'll be announcing them anyway. But looking forward to see what type of exclusive accessories it could be. I think you guys kind of all in agreement. Elite controller makes the most sense. Is there anything else you guys think they might unveil that would be shown there instead?
Some kind of official mouse and keyboard, possibly.
No, not going to happen.
Oh,
I would like to see an official webcam that's using. It's not the Kinect size, but it's like an official. Here's the Xbox brand webcam.
I fully believe that that's coming. That may not be this quite yet, but the fact that it's built in now, where you can just plug in a webcam to the device, just makes sense. They're going to have a branded one.
Now, see, that's what I was going to say. Well, I agree with you at first, but because especially with the focus on Mixer and all the things and all the changes they do with Mixer, it makes sense for them to try and make the Xbox be the all-in-one. Let's just stream from here. You don't need to go through a computer device. But the fact that you can plug in any other webcam, does it make sense for them to do their own? Because it's like you can just use whatever you want, and it'll probably be cheaper.
No, if that's the case, why not also get the keyboard and mouse and have like an actual press button to actually stream instead of having to go through some kind of menu or hoop?
So, Kevin, to your question about why not just plug in anything, just look at the case of external hard drives. So there's you can plug in any external hard drive to the Xbox, but they also made their own branded ones that you can plug in there. Everybody wants to make their own branded stuff. Nintendo makes their own branded SD cards, or they partner with SanDisk and do the same thing. So you'll see those types of things where it's got the Xbox logo on it, or maybe even works with Xbox. I think that's a moniker that they use, like works with or whatever.
Yeah.
But that's the reason why. Because once you put that name on the box and you market it in the video game area, not in the computer area, people who don't know that things are interchangeable just go and pick it up. And
easier attach. That makes sense. Yep. Coach, if you're back with us and I can hear you, is there anything else you think might pop up?
I actually think they're going to do more themed controllers on the Create Your Controller store. I think they might lean in hard to the NFL or NBA this year. They did a really good job with the NFL ones that they had last year that are being they were discounted on clearance, I want to say a month ago. I bought another Bears one. But I think they're going to lean into more of those custom controllers and stuff like that. So I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a new style or new upgrades or new things you can add to the custom controllers. Maybe adding that the Ghost Tech one they had that has the cool grips. You know what I mean on the side?
Yep.
Maybe adding that to something you can add to your customizable controller. So
or a customizable Elite controller.
If they did that, oh my god, I buy 3.
Mo, have we gotten an official driving pedals and wheel?
No, we only have the third-party ones.
I wonder if that's coming because Forza Horizon coming out. It could be a big push.
Oh,
that would make a lot of sense.
Considering I broke my Thrustmaster one, I would be totally down for buying a new one. So, stupid move.
Chuffy in the chat says they're going to announce a full crossplay with Xbox and the Switch.
Oh my goodness!
Everything that's on both is crossplay. I can't think of anything else that isn't.
I promise, if I had access to my Elite controller, I would play way more Zelda. Because then the back buttons would do all my jumping for me.
If I got achievements, I would play way more Zelda.
Oh my goodness, yes. I would have the 1,000 in that game if it was not achievements.
So, all right, to move off of this, but stay on the Xbox theme here. This isn't technically news per se, but if you follow the website Kotaku, they often do the best games of whatever console. And I noticed that the Xbox One edition was just updated. And I kind of wanted to go through this list here since we have the Xbox boys here and kind of discuss some things here. We often make the joke, as Nathan holds up his Xbox shirt.
Xbox boys. What a cool name.
Xbox boys.
Next to the
BOIS.
B exhibit.
BOIS, of course. We make a lot of jokes, and I mean, I've played way more Xbox and PlayStation lately. Like, I'm open and honest about that. My opinions have turned slightly, but my biggest gripe still is there's not enough exclusive. And now, Coach will say, well, there's tons of exclusives coming out. We got all these indie games coming out. That's
weird. The 1,100 games I have on my Xbox totally say that there's plenty of games to play.
I didn't say there weren't games. I said exclusives.
Okay.
So this list here covers what Kotaku considers to be the top 12 games. Now, by all means, they're not the standard or like the industry, whatever. But
They suck.
I don't think they're far off though on some of these. But you'll notice that there's a trend here. So I'm going to run through the list, and then we'll talk about the list and see, number one, if there's anything you guys feel should be on there that's not on there, and then
Madden
we'll talk
FIFA.
about. All right, neither one of those are on there. I'll tell you that right now. Spoil that. Spoilers.
Ooh.
All right, so Rise of the Tomb Raider, Cuphead, Hitman.
Are these in any particular order?
No, they're just the 12 best.
Okay.
Fortnite,
What? No, get that off there.
The Witness, Titanfall 2, XCOM 2, Forza Horizon 3, The Witcher 3, Gears of War 4, and as my screen is freezing now, because Kotaku's website sucks,
Just like them.
Overwatch, Overwatch, and oh my god, why is it loading so slow? Monster Hunter World, oh my god, that's it. So those are the top 12. Sorry, it took forever to load the fact there was no more on the list. So you look at that. First off,
They're missing 2 Forza games just off the top of my head.
right? That's what I'm saying. But I mean, I think the one they have on there makes the most sense.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm fine with that. But you look at the list. The only other things on here that are actually exclusives is Cuphead
Mhm.
Well,
and
Forza
Gears. Yeah.
They're wrong because Halo 5 is fantastic.
That's
as far as multiplayer.
right,
The
and
multiplayer
that's
is
what I'm saying. Like, you look at to have a list in my mind here of the best on whatever console, whether you look at like Nintendo or Sony or Microsoft, you would expect Halo to be on Xbox. You'd expect like an Uncharted to be on a Sony one, or God of War, and you'd expect a Mario game to be on Nintendo. It's Zelda, hands down. Like, that's without a question. So, Halo aside, do you agree with this list, which is largely, I mean, even look at this, like, I think there are better games out there anyway that are multi-platform other than this, but I'm floored that there's 3 exclusives on this list of top 12.
Are you really floored?
Yes,
you
honestly,
really-
I am. Yeah.
It's Kotaku, so it's... Sorry, I don't know why I don't like them so much. I just really can't stand them.
So they don't have Ori and the Ori and the Blind Forest,
Nope.
right?
Mhm.
They don't have Sunset Overdrive, which is lauded
Oh
by
my goodness.
great game. They don't have, Halo 5, as we mentioned. I feel like that some people who wanted to start talking about Xbox got in a room, didn't know anything about Xbox, and just looked at a list of games and just threw them on a wall and then said, "Here you go." Because Fortnite, I mean, that doesn't belong on this list at all.
Yes, it does.
It's a hot game right
Yes, it
now.
does.
That's all it is.
That's why you got to look at what the list is supposed to be. It's the 12 best games to play right now on the Xbox.
Is
So
that what
it's not going to be just the best games. It's going to be more about like what's hot right now, who's playing what. And these are games that run well on the Xbox and probably have a lot of people that actually are playing them.
So
So
Rise of the Tomb
Fortnite
Raider is
should
hot
be
right now.
Clearly,
Where's-
because more than likely because it has a new Tomb Raider game coming out. And if
So
you look
what-
at Halo 5, people did not like Halo 5, and that's probably why it's not on this list.
So as Kotaku states here, this list is supposed to be a representation of somebody who just bought an Xbox One and was like, what games do I have to play?
Sunset Overdrive, Fragments of Him, Never Alone, Late Shift.
Most of those games, you realize, did not get like acclaim. Like people don't know of them. So
And
that's
I'm telling you, they're all phenomenal games.
I believe you. I believe you, but if you're getting somebody who's just picking up an Xbox, more than likely they're not going to play any of those games. Maybe Sunset Overdrive if it hasn't been forgotten, and,
Right.
and for the most part has.
See, I don't understand how Sunset Overdrive can be forgotten like this on a list that's like this.
Because
And
it
yet-
didn't sell well.
No, what I'm saying is like, if one of my friends made the bad choice to buy a PS4, and
Oh.
after I prayed for him and I lifted him up and I tried to do all the things I could to help them through these choices, But if this happened and they decided to go ahead and buy a Sony Death Machine, I would still say to pick up the Insomniac game that came at launch, Second Son Infamous.
Yes, right.
Because even though I did not like that game, I thought the DLC was way better than the base game. First Light blew Second Son out of the water, in my opinion.
I agree. That's standalone. You don't even need Second Son to play that.
Still a game that you probably want to mention. Sunset Overdrive is an amazing game and is definitely worth mentioning. And in my opinion, I view them in the same light. Infamous may have been a little more trying to be serious than, the Sunset Overdrive was not serious at all. But again, I view them in the same way. I'm sorry that one didn't get the same numbers, but it totally was a phenomenal game. So
right. And I mean, and honestly, so like me coming into the Xbox thing, missing out on all of this, essentially jumping in now, like Sunset Overdrive was a game that I was like, okay, I need to play this. This is an exclusive. Yeah, it didn't do well, but everybody that I do know that played it said they enjoyed it. I did try it, played it for a couple hours. I didn't like it, but I still acknowledge the fact, like, hey, if you're buying this console, this is one you need to check out. Like, if you buy a Sony, like you said, Second Son, Infamous is one you should check out. The Last of Us is something you should check out if you've never had a Sony console. These are games that make sense. So, like, for me, Xbox One, okay, what did I really, really want to play? It was Sunset Overdrive. It was Cuphead. It was the Gears games. It's the Halo games. It's the Forza games. And then that's kind of where I run into a wall. Halo Wars, which I don't consider, core Halo game. Those are all the games like I wanted to check out. But then it's like, okay, where do I go from there? And it's like, even in that regards, like I don't think I can name 12 Xbox exclusives that I have to play. Because like you said, Coach, they're missing 2 Forza games. But in my head, in my mind, I wouldn't sit there and say, okay, I need to play 3 different racing games. Like, no, I will play the best of the group, and that's good enough for me. But like, I get where some people are torn on it, but for me, just seeing this list, I was really, and this isn't poking fun of Xbox. Like, I'm not making a joke here. This list, I'm like, this made no sense to me. Like Hitman, XCOM 2, like those are not the best on any console of what that console has to offer.
XCOM 2 is not bad on PC. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Right, but out of all the games, are you like, this is a top 12 game?
No.
Yeah.
I'm really surprised PUBG's not on there.
Right.
PUBG is jank, and it's gotten overrun by Fortnite. That's why it's on that list.
But Dev, we've had so much fun watching me do amazing things in that game.
While this is true, it's just not the hotness right now. Like if you get an Xbox, people are gonna say, let's play Fortnite, because PUBG is just kind of falling off the map.
No.
And I'm with you, Kev. Like when I got the Xbox, the first thing I played was Sunset Overdrive, and I did not like it either. I just was not feeling it. And then I went to Gears. I didn't like that either. I need to play Gears 4 because the first one, it was just way too clunky. I just couldn't get into it.
Yeah, man.
I haven't played Halo yet, but I definitely want to check that out. But I'm in the same boat. Like I look at that list and it's like, yeah, I don't really want to play any of those, and I can play them elsewhere. Why would I want to play them on Xbox? Like, it's weird.
It's missing State of Decay 2, which again is one of my favorite games on the Xbox or on any system right now.
Sure, like in my mind, that's an experience that somebody needs to try. So even Sea of Thieves, like that would be an experience that somebody needs to try. Is it for everybody? No. But when I sit there and say, okay, here's a list of games as a new owner you need to check out, I would include those. So the most recent update, they took off Resident Evil 7 and Inside, and they added Monster Hunter World and Fortnite. That was the last edit to the list. I was like, I don't know.
That's crazy.
This list just needs to be like, hey, get Game Pass if you have new
Pretty
Xbox.
much.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
right.
That should be the only thing you need to worry about. Get Game Pass.
Yeah. 12 best games on Xbox, Game Pass. And then you'll have all the best games that come out on Xbox forever. Like going down the line. But anyway, so we've talked a lot about this. So let's move on to the next subject here. And to make things a little bit lighter, and unfortunately, because fate has its weird ways, we're gonna somehow tie it back to DC here. And San Diego Comic-Con's going on right now, and the newest trailer dropped for Lego DC Supervillains. So I'm a Lego fan, and I'm a DC game fan, I guess you would say, or a TV fan, just not the movie fan. And they talked about how this game's going to work exactly. Trailer dropped today, lays out the plot, featuring a group of imposter heroes, and they're beating both the Justice League and the Legion of Doom, and now the villains are trying to take them over to bring back the original Justice League. So the game's big selling point, different than the other Lego games, is that you're creating your own character, your own villain, giving them powers and costumes that you can change as the game progresses and you unlock things. But you're basically creating your own supervillain to then cooperate with villains such as Harley Quinn, Joker, and they're going deep in the villain pool here. Like Heatwave is mentioned, and pull for DC, so they're going real deep with this, and it looks like a lot of fun. And I'm kind of excited for this. So I don't know if you guys saw this or have even seen the DC Villains Lego stuff come out so far, but this looks like a change of pace that I think the Lego games need, where it's a little bit different direction that they're going in, but it's still using the great licensing agreements they have with people. I think it'd be a lot of fun. Is this anything any of you guys would check out?
I'm all for making my own villain. Like that would just be fun. I would make a really, really big person who smashes stuff.
So you'd make a DC Hulk?
Green?
Yeah, just really big. And
So Clayface?
it's
Swamp Thing.
except for green.
Oh, Swamp Thing, yeah.
Not with swamps.
Not with swamps.
Clayface can be whatever, so he could just turn into the Hulk. So
That's true.
That's what I'm gonna build.
That's true.
yeah, I would be on board if this wasn't a Lego game.
Okay.
The premise kind of reminds me of there was an X-Men game a while back where you created a hero to kind of work with the X-Men.
Yes.
Destiny.
Yes, Destiny.
Yes. You picked from like the 3 different abilities, whatever it was, right?
Right. I liked that concept, and I think that'd work out pretty well here. Although I think it's interesting that they started this concept with villains instead of heroes.
I think they just recognize that the personalities are probably better on the villain side than they are on the hero side. Like a Superman, we all talk about, he's the Boy Scout, he's the goody-goody. Not interesting. Batman, they've done so much with Lego Batman, including the movie franchise. So I think this is just a way to take some of those great characters that they've used and kind of amp it up with Harley Quinn and the Joker.
But the
Let's just be real. The villains are way cooler than the heroes. Heroes are boring.
The villains make the heroes. So if you play as a make your own hero and you just have that vast array of villains that you're going against, you have more fun, I think, than you make a villain and then you have all the goody two-shoe guys that are trying to stop you. And, it's more fun, I think, from the other side.
Okay. That's fair. Either way, I thought it was fun and a cool concept. So we'll see what happens. It's a Lego game. It's going to sell a gazillion copies and eventually be like $10 and we'll all play it. So it's all good. And so the last news item this evening, because we're running a little long on time here, we've talked a lot, especially leading up to E3 coverage in our prediction shows, about release dates. And we talked about how everyone seemed to be or should be scared of releasing the same day as Rockstar's newest Red Dead Redemption 2. And that you might as well make room in the fall because that's what's coming out. Well, I'm here to let you all know that one video game has come out and said, we don't care. We're going to go toe to toe with Red Dead Redemption 2. And it's insane, but they're completely not fearless at all. Paw Patrol, guys, is coming.
What's a Paw Patrol?
You're going to look it up. It's,
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious.
Wow.
Paw Patrol is flexing its giant muscle and gonna flex its dominance over kids by releasing a new video game the same day as Red Dead Redemption 2. It's coming out on all consoles and PC October 26th, of course. But yeah, it's not afraid of it all. It's coming through. Paw Patrol toys alone generate over $300 million in sales. And Amazon has it constantly on its top 10 Christmas toys. It's always on the bestseller list, all this stuff here. But yeah, so there you go. Toe to toe. Paw Patrol versus Red Dead Redemption 2. Let's see who outsells who.
I'm sure I've got a Zuma or a Rebel behind me somewhere.
You probably do.
I would be more inclined to buy that than Red Dead Redemption. The kids would play that and they would love me forever. And I don't really have any interest in Red Dead Redemption 2, to be perfectly honest.
That's fair. So, Coach, Paw Patrol is currently on air.
I looked it up. It's a cartoon with dogs.
Yep.
And dogs have paws. Hence,
yes.
Paw Patrol is the dogs patrolling.
Yes. So just to give you the scope of the size here, though. So Red Dead Redemption 2 is going to be a huge game. We all know it. Whether we're interested or not, it's going to be massive. We know that. Look at GTA and how much it's sold. All from Coach.
Yep, I'm buying 2.
We look at how much Grand Theft Auto is sold, so it's a given. But so this show is currently syndicated in over 160 countries, and $300 million just in toy sales alone. That's insane. So we shall see. We shall see. So hashtag Red Dead versus Paw Patrol. We'll see what happens come October 26th. I just thought it was a fun way to end the show on that kind of nonsense there. Nathan, are you familiar with Paw Patrol yet?
I'm familiar with it, but I have yet to watch an episode. I've seen the commercials.
You will.
Paw Patrol, they'll be there on the double.
Yep. It's puppies, and they're like firemen and police people.
Yep.
Anyway, enough of that nonsense. It's time to wrap up the show, everybody. So, Dev, where can people find you and what you working on?
Actually, this is not the end of the show. We're having the Dev and Mo takeover. Welcome to the mini OT.
Mini
Oh!
OT. Bop, 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 bop.
Okay.
All right, so we've entered the OT hour as my daughter walks by. We decided since me and Mo were here, we just go ahead and take over the end of the show and turn it into a mini OT. So Mo, do you have any crazy questions?
I do. I've got my first curveball.
All right.
Kevin, this one's directed just towards you because Nate, as he said earlier, hadn't watched the show. If you were a member of the Paw Patrol, who would you be?
I think it's given I'd have to be Ryder.
And who is that?
That's the main. That's actually the human who's got the crew of dogs with
I'm
him.
sorry, Paw Patrol is about dogs. You must pick a puppy.
Okay, then I'd be Chase.
Devin is Chase the puppy.
Yeah, no, Chase is a puppy.
Okay.
It could be Chase. It could be Chase. Yeah, that works.
And people say I can't be a good host. Groundbreaking news.
Oh wow, that is hilarious.
Dev, you got one? Because
I've actually got a question. Yeah.
All right, get it.
So we're all married. So this was a question that my wife actually posed to me because I was asking her for some curveballs to throw at Mo. So here's a curveball. How do you and your wife or partner know when you're not fighting anymore?
Okay. I have an answer for this. So we're at Universal. And we're walking around and we end up Lacey wants to go get food from Hard Rock. I don't like Hard Rock. Okay. Only because I don't normally like that style of music. Like, again, I'm not really a music person. And so we're walking. She's like, hey, can we go to Hard Rock? And I'm like, dude, it's my turn. No, we're going to go get churros. She says, fine. And so we get the churros and we continue the walking and the rides and the stuff. And so probably 40 minutes post eating of the churros, she's going to look. I was like, you know what? I love you. I'm like, time out. Huh? And whenever she does that, the unrequited or unasked for I love you, that's her saying the fight's over, even though I did not know we were in a fight.
You don't seem to know a lot of different things are going on in a relationship, whether it's a breakup or the fact that you're actually dating or you're in a fight with your wife. I don't know how you get through life, Mo, without falling down a lot. I don't get it.
I want to point out, I don't fall very often. However, I am not real good at reading verbal cues or unverbal cues. Wait, which one's verbals when you say them?
Yes.
I'm not good at unverbal cues.
Non-verbal.
Social cues. Non-verbal. Like, that's just not how I am. Like, I don't. Some people like see the picture frame, and some people see behind the picture frame and all the things that went into making the painting. I just see the picture. So if you don't explain to me that there's more, I don't catch on so fast, and that's okay. Everyone's allowed to paint by numbers how they wish. So, but that's how I know the fight is over, because she tells me, you know what? I love you. And that's our way of going, this argument's over. And sometimes I knew we were fighting, and sometimes I was just enjoying a good churro, and I didn't know.
Well, for me, I know when I'm in a fight, because you get that look, like you done did something wrong, and my wife will not hold back, and she will let me know when I did something wrong, which I appreciate, because it's always good to know when you're in a fight, I would think normally, but I don't know, coach does okay without it, I guess. The way I know that a fight is over, that was a question, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. When she starts speaking to me again in full sentences. The second there's a full drawn out thought, not a yeah, okay, whatever, I don't care, yep, like that's, I know I'm in a fight. As soon as it turns into full sentences, I know I'm okay again, and I did something right or resolve the issue, whatever it was. But that's kind of pretty much the only way I know most of the time.
That's hilarious. Mine is kind of the same way, because I don't stay mad, or I can't stay angry.
I don't
like 5 minutes. Like, I'm like, once we talked about it and we've kind of mashed out what's going on, Like I'm over it and done, and I'm happy. I can't hold anger. It just does not work. I've tried to stay mad and stay in that feelings and deal with that space, but I just can't. So I'll be, talking to her like a normal human being, not using the one word sentences, and she'll still be doing the one word thing. Or you feel that tension. Yep. And so once the tension eases up, and she's talking to me like a normal human being in full sentences without like the grunt, like the whatever or yes, no, then we've moved past the fight. She may still be mad, yes, but we've moved past the fighting part, and we're actually starting to get into reconciliation. So that leaves you, Nate.
So for me, I know it's over when I can get her to either smile or chuckle or laugh, because that's what to me shows that it's over and done. Because like Kevin, she'll just kind of shut down a little bit. She'll not want to talk and be like the quick 1 or 2 word answers, but that's about it. So that's when I know it's done. But the one thing I always try to keep in mind is when there's things that are in between us, just trying to keep in mind that you don't want to let the sun set while you're still angry, right? If the day is getting to an end, try to figure it out what's going on, go to bed restful, and be able to, wake up to a new day.
Nice. All right. And so we don't end the mini OT on a sad note. We're going with a happy question, something a little goofy.
Hold on, I have some breaking news.
Uh-oh.
Jace and I just became Whitney Houston and Kevin Costner. I am now his bodyguard. He sent me a link of 8-Bidado?
Yeah, I know.
I'm guessing it's a play on word for Nintendo somehow.
Yes. Yep.
Wireless Bluetooth controller adapter for the Nintendo Switch, so I can hook up my Xbox controller.
There you go.
Donnie's posted that like 30 times in different places.
Where did he post it?
Discord.
If you posted, then I'm not going to see it, guys.
It's been in the Shack. It's been in the Empire as well.
I don't believe that. All right. So, Jace, I will be your Kevin Costner.
Nice. All right.
I got a curveball for you.
Oh.
Since this is OT, and it's been a while since I've loosened up the shoulder to throw a curveball. Since I've been doing summer classes and very involved in that right now, it's been taking up all my time, as was mentioned before. Just a quick question. In school, what was your favorite subject? Mo.
Now, I'm sure some of you guys can guess that PE is my favorite subject. Well, you would be wrong. My favorite subject.
Can I guess?
Go ahead.
English?
Yep. My favorite subject is English. I'm going to tell you guys something a little embarrassing, but when I was a junior in high school, we had to go through the clearinghouse to be NCAA eligible. And my coach was taking me through it, and he goes, you failed all these classes. You have C's in all these classes. Like, you need to get some B's. Well, most of my teachers were just passing me because I was a football player. And so I got into my junior English class, and I could not tell you what a noun or a verb was. I had no idea. And it was because teachers would just let me pass. I was one of the only white kids in the school. So there were a lot of times where I would hear teachers like, oh, he'll be fine. And they would go help other students, which, again, not an issue, just how it worked out. Well, I finally buckled down, got some tutoring, got some help, worked really, really hard in English, and it was the first class that was not PE I got an A in. And I freaked out. I was so proud of myself. I love reading. Most people don't know I read almost 2 hours every night before I go to bed. I love going through books. The only reason I don't teach English is I get crazy anxiety that I'm gonna fail or mess up, and it happens when it comes to writing. And so if I'm trying to teach kids how to write and I misteach something, now that I've given them that same insecurity that I came in with as a young student. But English is one of my favorite subjects, and it's something that someday, when the knees won't let me do it, I will be an English teacher.
I will say, Coach, for somebody who didn't know English, you speak it very well now. So you've done a lot. Kudos to you. So for me, anytime back in the day I can get my hands on a computer, that was the class I loved. I don't think I've really talked about it much on here, but so I'm older. Well, not than Dev, but the other guys. So when I was in high school, like the internet was like an early thing. Like that really wasn't a thing at all. And by the time I hit senior year, that's when schools started really digging in. They had like magnet classes where they teach you computers, this and that. At that point, from like 10th grade on, I started self-teaching myself. That's the definition, self-taught, of like HTML and like how to make web pages. Like I taught myself that because there were no classes. And that's eventually what I went to college to do eventually down the line. But it was very early on. There wasn't a lot there. But anytime I could get a class that would allow me to be in the computer lab, that's what I gravitated towards because I wanted to absorb as much knowledge as possible so I can increase my own skill set. In my senior year, I actually got to test out of classes to help teach some of the magnet classes of the freshmen coming in on computer stuff because they only had one computer teacher who was teaching this whole, group of classes, and she needed the help. And I was basically her assistant and got to skip out of like English my senior year. As ridiculous as it was, typing was a mandated class. And I'm like, really? I'm on a computer 24/7. I can type out right now. And the teacher's like, well, do this right now. And if I'm satisfied, you won't need to go to the class all year. Okay, no problem. Done. Like easy. So for me, it was anytime I got my hands on a computer, I was happy.
Nice.
That's pretty awesome.
Deb?
Yeah, my favorite class was physics, actually. It was just a lot of fun going through all of that and all the equations and seeing how things worked. And it was just a lot of fun. So physics and chemistry, I think it was 10th grade and 11th grade. I had 10th grade, I had chemistry, and then 11th grade, I had physics. And those were just some of the most fun classes I had ever had. It was like the few classes that had actually challenged me in any way in high school. I was a very, very lazy student. I would literally just do all the homework and pass a test in class. And if it came to doing anything else, I wanted no parts of it. But that was like, those were the two classes that actually kept me actively engaged, where I actually wanted to learn and do the stuff that was going on in class. So physics was by far the most fun that I'd ever had in high school.
Nice. For me, I liked probably my first or second year in college, I took a class, What to Listen For in Music. And it was actually a really great class. Like the teacher was super passionate. I can't remember his name. But he was super passionate, very, understanding of the all the different music that started, like, from Gregorian chants all the way through the Baroque period, the Renaissance, and things like that, into our modern day. It was really interesting to have all that kind of brought into it. And I already had an appreciation for music before, but going through that class and kind of listening for the motifs and things that you'd hear, and the all the things that make up music that you take for granted when you're listening to a song on the radio. But when you actually think about what is composing that, what's all behind it, all the different complexities between all the different interplays between the strings, the brass, and everything else that's happening, it's really cool. So that was really eye-opening, just kind of getting that extra little bit of flavor into understanding what goes into music, and has stuck with me. And it's one of those things that I always look for, those elective type classes that kind of would spark a little something extra to something I already enjoy but kind of take for granted. So that's kind of interesting. But curveball over. You guys did a good job.
Very cool.
Awesome. And well, for the OT, that's game over.
Boom.
Take over now, Kev.
All right.
I'm so proud of you, Dev.
I know that was so great. I was not expecting that at all. So, all right. We know what you do normally, Dev, then, based on that little interaction there. But if people are not familiar, where can we find you and what do you do?
Yeah, you can find me on the Twitterverse at DevATias. Check me out in the Make Us Better Discord. I'm pretty much there all the time talking trash and generally harassing Donnie, because that's probably my favorite pastime. Other than that, I am looking to get into streaming soon with Destiny coming up with Forsaken. I plan on doing a lot of that and trying to get some articles now that I actually have a space where I can be more creative. So look for me there.
Fair enough. So Nathan, who is your daddy and what does he do?
It's not a tumor.
Yes. I knew you'd get it.
My dad's retired. He was a tractor inspector for Caterpillar for a while, and then he was a realtor, and then he was a bus driver. Just did a few different things throughout his career, but he's retired, so that's what he does right now.
Okay. And where can people find you, and what do you do?
People can find me if they want to on Twitter. I'm at Voiced by Nathan. Also on Xbox every now and then. You can find me over there, Spider Jedi. Yeah, I mean, right now I've just been working on school. Unfortunately, like that's taking up all my time and all my energies, trying to just make sure I do a decent job over there. But I'm going to read something for you guys, since this article that I'm writing is actually on video games. And maybe you can try to help crowdsource the title just by this opening paragraph. So if I can indulge in a tease, which may actually show up later on the blog.
Yes, please do.
Awesome.
So here's the opening paragraph. Hopefully it sounds okay. Think of a title that's enticing. There are many evils that plague this world. The causes are varied depending on who is asked. Many different news outlets hold their slant and when they report their take on recent events, which colors the public opinion in a way that has become more overt. One of the possible causes that the media tends to point to when there are violent tragedies, like mass shootings, is video games. It seems that the loudest voices blaming video games are usually the most inexperienced in the medium. These critics say that video games cause health problems, inability to focus, as well as motivate people to become violent. I believe that video games are not the scapegoat that the media tries to paint them to be, and that video games can in fact be beneficial to society.
I have a title.
Uh-oh. What's that?
Why Nintendo will kill you in 4,000 words.
So tweet your title suggestions to Voice Ed by Nathan on Twitter.
I just gave the title.
Okay.
Did you tweet it? That's the rule. You gotta tweet it to me.
That's good stuff, Nate. It's good stuff.
I think I'll plug it for you. You have something coming out Wednesday.
Ah, yes, I do. The Xbox, the State of the Xbox Empire, the 5th episode, official episode, will be releasing, in which we talk about Halo. And I was joined by none other than the masters of the lore, Mr. Luke Lore, and Q.
Who's in the chat right now?
Lubarican.
So look forward to that. It'll be fun. Of course, I'm interested in hearing it because it is really long. So, buckle.
It is very long. We went into our own overtime, man. It was good stuff.
It's all good. It's all good. Coach, where can people find you, and what are you working on?
At the Coach Hulk on Twitter, at Coach Hulk on Xbox and Mixer. I streamed a little. I played some Vigor. I was my boy Dev said some passionate stuff at the last OT that got me working on my 7-page article that is still a work in progress. I'm pouring notes in that I kind of got discouraged and quit because writing gives me really bad anxiety and freaks me out a little. But because I've got good friends who are good motivators, I've continued to work on it and going to continue to get that piece ready to go, talking about some cool stuff. And that's about it. Oh, and I do the OT most of the time. I can't say all the time because I missed one.
Well, you do it more than I do.
Well, got you there. Fair enough. So you can find me at PSVG Kevin if you're so inclined. But I do ask you follow the podcast network at PSVG on Twitter. Head over to the website psvg.blog to find all the articles and posting of all the different broadcasts we have that come out. Of course, we thank all of our executive producers, actually all of our producers in general, for supporting us over at patreon.com/makeusbetter. Check out all the cool things there and join us in the Discord. That is free. You don't need to be a Patreon member for that. And then Coach is throwing me off right now. So check that out there on the Discord and join us for some great conversation. We talk about all of the things, all sorts of things there. One thing I will plug, other than what Coach Mo wants me to plug, is I am going to ask, I'm going to do a little plug for something that's not part of the network. I want you guys to check out on Twitter at MasterQuestPod. So y'all might remember Tyler, who was a former member of PSVG. He's got a new show out there. He did invite me to do a little project with him, actually. And it was very interesting to do. So I actually jumped and took the chance. And we are releasing, should be this week as you're hearing this podcast release, a look at the history of Nintendo, Coach. But it covers a lot of stuff that I really don't think most people know. And I'm not talking about how Nintendo started off as a card company. We do talk about that, but I'm talking even pre that. So we're talking the 1800s. We're going back that far. So there was a lot of research done for this. It is a great piece so far. And there will be more episodes coming down the line, but I just wanted to plug that. So check that out at Master Quest Pod on Twitter to find out more. It should be dropping some point this week after the editing is done. Nathan, you said you had something else to plug?
One more thing. We have a good buddy in the chat right now, Luke Lore. I wanted to just say, hey, hop over to his Mixer channel, mixer.com/insipidghost. Give him a follow. Check out his streams out there. He's a great guy. I know you've heard him on the OT. You've heard him on the Empire. Give him a follow and enjoy the content to be had.
Definitely. He's doing a great job, and I will say he is truly inspiring, I think, a lot of us to take our stab at doing the streaming thing. Like Dev's getting ready to do it. Coach started streaming, and I'm not going to let him talk, even though he wants me to let him talk right now.
I have a bone to pick with Mr. Luke Lore.
Oh. Go ahead.
Luke, you are an amazing, wonderful streamer who I listen to on my mobile phone when I'm out. If you pop in and I'm like not at a computer, on the computer, I've watched you on my Xbox. Like I've watched so much Insipid Ghost stream. But sir, you need to bring back the rewards. When the 300 followers come, there needs to be a package that you open, because that is my favorite part. I don't care that you got competitive or something. No, you buy the present for yourself, you open the present, and I cheer for you when you open the present, because it's awesome. So I'm gonna say one more time, Luke, if you don't buy the present, I'm gonna buy the present.
I was gonna say, yeah, we're gonna buy something for you.
Yeah, you don't make me do this. All right? Okay, I'm done.
Are you threatening to buy him something? That's very odd. That's not a good threat.
You know what I meant.
Right, fair enough. So anyway, as I was saying, Luke has inspired a lot of us to take a stab at doing the streaming thing. Caroline's doing it now. Dev's getting ready to do it. I think we're all taking our stab. Nathan does Extra Life, obviously, every single year. So
Extra Life.
So plug there for that. But yeah, Luke, keep doing great things, but give him a follow. He's definitely proving that we can all, inspiring us all to take the events there too. So
speaking of Extra Life, by the way, one more butt in. We are 123 days away from game day, official game day. Which means I'm 122 days away, because I'm going to do it the day before official game day, because I'm old and I need an extra day to recover.
Yep.
So if you are interested in checking out Extra Life this year, whether you want to be involved as a streamer, or if you want to be involved as a donor, whatever you want to do, you can check out my Extra Life participant page, which is extra-life.org/participant/nt. And you can also find out more in our Discord and talk to me over there if you want to get involved with actually joining the Make Us Better team. I'm going to, for the first time, be a captain of an Extra Life team this year. So we'll see how that goes. So I'm looking forward to having as much participation from you guys as you want to give. It'll be a good time. Try to make it fun and interactive. And the more people, the more fun it is. So join up.
So thank you, everybody, for tuning in, listening, and we appreciate it. We had a great time. This is a little bit longer than normal, but I think it was well worth it. So as always, we ask you, boys and girls, to never stop gaming.
Luke's our mixer spirit angel.